Like Shalom, we're going from the peace camp. That being said, we give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, Bahasham qadash. Double honor to the others of Great Millstone. And peace and salutation to the people out there doing this work with truth and sincerity, man. We want to get it today real quick is being in the spirit. Walking in the spirit. I know it's very difficult sometimes being in these shades of darkness to stay spiritual, man, to stay in the spirit. Because we're vexed out here, man. As we go about our daily lives among these 2/3 and these Edomites, that vexes our spirit, man, because they're contrary to our spirit, we're contrary to their spirit, man. But it's important for brothers to the best of your ability, man, to maintain spirituality, maintain being in the spirit, man. And that comes with growth too. Because the more you grow in this thing, the more stronger you can stay in the spirit, man. The more strength you have to stay in the spirit constantly, man. When you're a new brother coming in, you gotta be trialed and tested, constantly, man. You're always you're gonna be going off, man. That's just the way it is, because we don't come into this thing perfect, man. That's why the scripture says, Yahawah said that those I'm going to be paraphrasing, that those that need a physician, something to that effect, man. That he came to save the sinners, the elect, the sinners, man. He came to forgive us of our sins. That's why his death that's why he was crucified, man. That's why he was crucified. But as we grow in this thing, and that's an important thing about this truth too, that you gotta learn to grow. You gotta be patient. You gotta grow in this thing, man. So you gotta grow to stay in the spirit constantly. Give me that scripture.
2 Corinthians 5:7. For we walk by faith and not by sight.
So we walk by faith, man. That means we walk by our belief. We live our lives by our belief. Our belief in what? Our belief in these scriptures, and not by sight. Not the carnal things that we see. We walk and live our life with having hope in the unseen things, man. Things like we know that this place is going to be destroyed, man. We don't see it happening, but we're going to see it happen. But we have that faith that's going to happen, and we're going to be delivered. Our enemies are going to be destroyed, man. That the Most High is going to bring us from our lowest state and put us back in our position of power again, man. Because that's what Israel means, Yahawah, Prince of Power. So he's going to bring us back in that position of power again, man. So the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, you're going to be put back in that position of power. We believe in these things. We believe that the Most High is coming back for his elect, 144,000, man. So we walk by faith and not by sight, man. You want to keep, you got something? Listen, please.
This is 2 Corinthians 10:3. Going into the fight that we're in, man, to stay in the spirit. It's a constant fight between spirit and carnality. We're in the flesh, so we're subjectable to the desires of the flesh, man. So this is and also, man, through the spirit, we're not gonna bring this place down with carnal acts. Everything has to be through the spirit, man. We first have to bring it down spiritually, and then our Savior Yahawah is gonna come and bring it down physically, man. This is 2 Corinthians 10:3. Okay, I'll start at 2. But I beseech you that I may not be bold when I am present with the confidence wherewith I think to be bold against some, which think of us as if we walk according to the flesh. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. Because Paul is giving the description that we're walking in the flesh, man. We're carnal men, man. For the weapons of warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the power to the putting down of strongholds. And through the spirit, man, walking in the spirit, that's what we're doing, man. We're bringing down the strongholds. We're breaking down that the Most High, who usually call God, his true name is Yahawah, that he was a so-called black man, man. A so-called, what you would call black man today. That's his appearance, man. So is the appearance of the God and Son, which you guys call Jesus Christ, which his name is in the Hebrews, Yahawah, man. And we're breaking down all the strongholds, man, that Esau has our people in, man. Through the spirit, we're doing that. Verse 5, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of the Most High. And that's what we're doing, man. And bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Yahawah. Yeah, that's it with that, man. But the point being, we're the fight we're doing right now is through the spirit, man. So we have to strengthen our spirit so that we can keep doing what we're doing, man.
John, and that's the way we fight, man. We fight with these scriptures, man. We cut people with these scriptures. We don't do it on a carnal level. So that's the other thing that brothers got to remember too, that when you're out there in the highways and byways, you gotta stay in the spirit, meaning that you gotta, to the best of your ability, you can't be carnal about people that come up to you. You gotta stay in the spirit. You gotta cut them with scriptures, man. You gotta throw scriptures at them, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to proclaim the word of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. We're here to prophesy the word of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, man. And in order for us to do that, we have to be in the spirit, man. The spirit of prophecy has to be upon you, man. For you to go out there and prophesy, you go out there on the highways and hedges and rebuke 2/3 of our people, and to cast judgment on the Edomites, which are the so-called white people. You have to be in the spirit to do that, man. The spirit has to be on you for you to proclaim this word. Because the Lord's not going to let just anybody go out there and do this, man. You are called. Most likely we be chosen, but we have to stay in the spirit, man, when we're doing this work.
This is Galatians 5:16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. In this world, man, in Babylon, everywhere we go, we're consumed by vanity, by wickedness, by every evil thing that there could be in the world is here in America, man. America is a living cesspool, So everywhere we go, we have to be, try to maintain in the spirit, man. Because of course you can't always keep that hardcore spirit on. The men of the scriptures even talk about that sometimes they weren't in the spirit, man. So the point being, though, we have to have that spirit to always try to be in the spirit and walk circumspectly on everything that we do, man. Because hey, man, there's a lot of shit out there just waiting to tempt you, waiting to grab you and pull you out of this truth, man. So and it says that we shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Hey, because the flesh wants to do evil, man. The flesh wants to do wickedness. But that's what it says. It's the war between the flesh and the spirit. Because the spirit wants to do good, but the flesh wants to do wickedness, man. Because it's all is known. Like Brother Sam Camp, we've been more in this world than we've been in the truth. So it's understandable that this flesh wants to do the wickedness that it was doing when we were out of it, when we were not in this truth, man. For the flesh lust is against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that you cannot do the things that you would. So that's what I was just explaining, man. So the things that you want to do through the flesh, the spirit doesn't like that shit, man. And same vice versa. When you want to do something in the spirit, the flesh be telling you, nah, I'm lazy, or I want to go eat instead, or I want to go do something else that's going to satisfy the lust of the flesh. But if you're going to put the spirit, on the back burner, pretty much, you're not going to do what you're supposed to do. Because right now is the time to be in the spirit, man, and push this word to the most that we can. I'll read a little bit more. Yeah. Okay. But if ye be led of the spirit, ye are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lavishness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, and heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, rebellions, and such like, of which I tell you before. I have also told you in time past that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. And the characteristics that it describes for the carnal mind, contrary to what it describes for the spiritual mind, are two complete opposite things, man. Yeah. So that just goes to show how opposite walking in the flesh and walking in the spirit are, man. I'll read this last quote. And they that are Yahawashis have crucified the flesh with the affections and lust. And that's what brothers are doing day to day, man. Burying their cross. When you bury your cross, you're putting off all that the old man behind you, man. So if we live in the spirit, let us walk in the spirit. And that's what we're doing, man. When you're in the scriptures, when you're in this truth, you're living by the spirit, man. Because like the brother said before, we don't know, we don't have no proof that what we're preaching is actually there, but it's through faith, through the Spirit that we maintain this fight, man. Let us not desires of vainglory, provoking one another, envying one another. That just goes into the characteristics of being a carnal man.
This is the book of Galatians 6 and 8. It says, for he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. So, if you're always feeding the flesh, the body what it wants, man, you're gonna reap corruption, man, because the things of this life will deteriorate you. They'll break you down. Look at the food. You know what I'm saying? If you eat too much food, you know what I'm saying, you can get sick, man. If you drink too much, you know what I'm saying, you get cirrhosis. If you do drugs, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? The scriptures are telling us not to reap to the don't sow to the flesh. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll be destroyed, and in the end, you'll be a servant to the flesh and not to the Spirit. It says, he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting, right? So if you do the things that are spiritual, you'll stay more in depth into the Word, you'll have more wisdom, more knowledge, and it'll guide you and protect you, you know what I'm saying, for all the wicked things that are out there that'll destroy you, that'll make you corrupt.
Is Romans 8 and 6. What the carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahawah, for it is not subject to the law of Yahawah, neither indeed can be. So then, they that are in the flesh cannot please Yahawah.
So you're in the flesh, you're not pleasing Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, man. So you gotta do to the best of your ability, you gotta learn to stay in the Spirit, man. Which is very difficult to do sometimes, man. Very difficult to do. Like the brother said, man, when you feed your carnal side, that could lead to your death, man. Saying, well, what does the scripture say? Is that man does not live by bread alone. Saying, so we don't live by our physical needs, especially man is truth. Man does not live by bread alone, by what? By what's it say? Every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, man, out of these scriptures. So our life we get life from these scriptures, man. These 2/3 out here, they sustain themselves carnally, man, because they desire the things of the flesh. All they care about is how they're going to get their next patient. They can go eat, and they can provide themselves a nice environment, a nice house. But brother, in this truth, we're not thinking like that, man. We're thinking about the life that's going to be after, man. This life, man. We don't give a fuck about this flesh right here, man. We don't care. The Lord provides for us for our daily needs, but we're not seeking those things, man. We're not desirous of those things because because we want to be in the Spirit. Because we desire a spiritual kingdom, man. We don't like being here. So we're not. So brothers, in this truth, man, we don't follow money. We ain't trying to make $1 million, man. You know what I'm saying? We ain't trying to have the best houses. We ain't trying to have the nicest clothes or the best cars. Those are all the lusts of the eyes, man. What you see or what you want, man. And that's Esau, man. That's your so-called white people, which are the Edomites, according to the Bible. That's your shit. You're the flesh. You're a carnal fucking person, man. Because you want what you want. You can go back to Genesis, the 25th chapter, and Esau fucking wanted, he didn't care about his birthright. He didn't care about the spiritual blessing that he was going to be given upon him. What did he care about? About eating fucking red pottage, man. He sold his fucking birthright for some red pottage, man. That just shows you Esau's, you so-called white people's carnal mind and carnal mentality, man. You got something?
Yeah, I got something.
Go ahead,
Just to back up the point. That it's a war, it's a constant war between flesh and spirit, man. This is Romans 8 and 14. For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin. For that which I do, do I allow not. For what I would, that I do not. And what I hate, that I do. If then I do that which I would not, I consent unto the law that it is good. Now then, it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. You know, and that's the point being, man, it's a constant fight, man. It's always gonna be a constant fight. You know, that's why the scriptures say that through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom of heaven, because the Most High knows that this flesh is corrupted, man. You know, that's what this flesh, you know, these bodies aren't gonna go up in the chariots, man, nor will we are those men. So these bodies need destruction, man. They need death, you know. It's the spirit that's in us. That's why the Most High, what is He going to come deliver? The spirits, right? Because the flesh is going to, you know, the scriptures talk that we should be changed in the twinkling of an eye. So that means that we're going to get new bodies, because the Most High knows that these bodies are corrupted. They're full of sin and everything that's wicked dwelleth in them, except for that spirit that's in us, man. The spirit that got quickened, you know, like the scriptures say that the spirit of the Most High quickened the spirit. And that's all we have right now. That's all that's of value to us right now, our spirit, man, because that's the only thing that can't be corrupted anymore, man. It's that you know, that once we came into this truth, we came into life. So the spirit itself, it's renewing itself every day, like the scriptures talk about, man. You know, I'll get this a little bit more. Now then it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. For I know that indeed that is in my flesh dwelleth no good thing. For to will is present with me, for how to perform that which is good I find not. For the good that I would I do not, but the evil which I would not, that I do. Hey man, so Paul was going through shit just as we're going through shit, man. You know. Now if I do that, I would not. It is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. I find then a law that when I would do good, evil is present within me. For I delight in the law of the Most High after the inward man. You know, and the inward man being the spirit, man. Our spirit wants to do the good thing. Our spirit wants to follow all the commandments and scriptures and everything, man. But this flesh, you know, it's a weak ass flesh, man. We need those huge, strong bodies, you know. A little bit more. Well, I see another law in my members, warring against the law of my mind, and bringing me into captivity to the law of sin which is in my members. O wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from the body of this death? Hey man, because these bodies represent death, man. They're walking death, man. Everything, all the wickedness we've done in these bodies. Hey man, the scriptures say that if no man, how does it go, that everybody has fallen short of salvation, man, because we're fucked up right now, man. I thank God through the Spirit of Yahawah, our Lord. So then with the mind, I myself serve the law of the Most High, but with the flesh, the law of sin. You know, and that's the constant battle, man. It's always going to be a constant battle.
God, the brother talking about constant battle, people say the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak, man.
That's the spirit I got that.
Come on, brother.
This is Matthew 26 and 41. It says, watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Man, the brother said the flesh is weak, man. You know, it's like the brother's going into, we value our spirit, man. We value our spirit. You know, we don't value these chains of darkness that are in this flesh that we get. You know, and but we still with us being his flesh, we still fall off from time to time, man. You know, brothers still get lazy. The brothers still, you know, they eat too much or they drink too much sometimes, man. And we're just gonna do that, man. You know, because we're constantly going to this thing, man. We're being perfected. You know, that's why we get put through trials and persecution, man. No trials and tribulations, like you, man. Hey, but we value the spirit. You know, we value the spirit. If that I want to get Matthew 16:26 says, this is Yahawah speaking, the one who you even call Jesus Christ. He says, and what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world? That's the carnal things. He's talking about the carnal things of this life and lose his own soul. Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? So the soul, the spirit, is more valuable than anything out here in this world, man. And any riches that you can obtain. Or because you know what? Because eventually everything that you can obtain in this carnal ass fucking world is going to perish, man. It's going to be destroyed. So why value something that's going to be destroyed? It's going to perish. It's going to rot away, man. You know? That's something.
I got something to say on that, man. We have examples of what it is when people lose their soul, man. Because it's, you know, I'm gonna use these Hollywood actors and Hollywood stars and music stars. Hey, man, they made a pact with the devil, man. They actually signed their name on blood, and those higher up ones, you know what I mean? So, and what do they start doing? They start doing drugs. They start tatting themselves all around their face, everywhere. Why, man? Because they know that they lost something more special than what they gained, man. Because those material riches, man, they ain't shit, man. If you don't got your soul, like that scripture just described that the brother brought out, man. What have you gained if you lost your soul, man? And even that dude Tupac said that, man. You know, he knew that he had fucked up once he sold his soul, man. You know, because that soul, man, that's precious, man. Especially to Jake, man. Jake knows when he does some shit like that he's going off of his power, you know. But hey, man, those riches, hey, man, it's the constant battle. Like I said, man, you want to have those carnal gains, you know, that the material, you know, which satisfies the flesh, but you're pretty much kicking your spirit out of your body, pretty much, you know.
John, what was that one?
Yeah. I got John 6:63. It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing.
Hey, the flesh profit nothing, man. So like we were going into, we were giving examples how the flesh is a war with the spirit, and everything of the flesh leads to death. So there's no profit in being carnal, man. There's no profit, there's no gain for it, man. You're not gonna gain nothing from it. Anything that you gain from being in the flesh or fulfilling the carnal desire, it's only a temporary fucking thing, man. It's gonna be blown out like a candle, man. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be blown out like a candle, man. So the flesh profits it nothing, man. Read that back again.
Right. The flesh profiteth nothing. The word that I speak unto you,
Start from the beginning.
it is spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing.
It is a spirit that quickeneth, man. So you get more life. More life is, you get more life. You be more alive when you're in the spirit, man. You really have life in you when you're in the spirit. Because these words are life, man. The scriptures are life. You know, they're feeding us spiritually, man. And if you're spiritually dehydrated, you're dead. Keep on going.
The words that I speak unto you.
The words, see, the words that what? The words of these scriptures. The words that I speak unto you. What are the words that are spoken unto us? The words of this book, man. You know, the scriptures. The King James Version, including the Apocryphal, man. These are the words of life. So keep on going, run that back, that first part. The words that, from the words.
The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit, and they are life.
The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. For life is the spirit, man. You know, so that's why, you know, to the best of your ability, you know, you gotta try to maintain that spirituality, that spiritual growth, man. You know, and how do you do that? By staying in these scriptures, man. You know, by praying, by watching videos of other brothers, man. Other brothers, hey, brothers making edifying videos all the time, man. You know, by being in contact with other brothers, man. You know, just staying spiritual, man. You know, and staying away from the lust of the old man. All that bullshit that you used to fucking do. You know, you gotta have a new mentality, man. The things that you were doing in the world, you gotta cut that shit off, man. If it's not beneficial to you. You know, if you were the type of dude that like to shake pussy all the time, you know, ain't nothing wrong with getting some, but you know, but that can't be your only fucking motive, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's dudes that were in the world and you know, their whole life was getting a new bitch. You know, that was their priority. Well, that can't be your priority no more. And there's dudes that were in the world, man, and their whole priority was making money, man, getting that dollar. You know, when you're in this truth, that can't be your priority no more. You know, and and so on and so forth. Many examples where you know, when you were in the world, you were chasing after these things that were temporary, these things that profit nothing, that profit little, that profit nothing at all, man. You know, that only lead to death. You know, so us understanding this, you know, we gotta stay in the spirit as much as possible, man. It's not, but you know what? It's almost impossible to stay in the spirit all the time. And the Most High knows is that the Apostle Paul wrote about that, man. He said the things that let me paraphrase, the things that I want to do, I can't do. The things that I need to do, so somebody pray like that, man. Basically, he was describing the constant battle between your spirit and your flesh. And best believe it is a battle, man. That's part of our punishment, man. That's part of, you know, that's part of our being in these chains of darkness. That's part of our affliction, man. You know, because we know this truth. We know this, we know that the Spirit gives us life, but we're still vexing this world, man, living among these two-thirds, these wicked two-thirds, the wicked of the so-called Palestinians, Native Americans, and the wickedness of you Edomites, man, you so-called white people, man. You know, all you see is wickedness around you, man. That's something,
Yeah, definitely. You know, this is going into, you know, just the fact that, hey, man, those riches, man, ain't shit, man. They really aren't shit if you can't save your own self from the coming destruction that Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is going to bring to this earth, man. This is Psalms 49 and 5. I'll start 5. Wherefore should I fear in the days of evil, when the iniquity of my heeds shall compass me about? They that trust in their wealth and boast themselves to the multitude of their riches, none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to Yahawah a ransom for him. For the redemption of their soul is precious, and it ceases forever. You know, that point B, man, the redemption of your soul is the most important thing you can do in this walk, in this life that we have right now, man. That's what brothers are doing, man. We're redeeming our soul to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, man. We're saying that we fucked up, but we're coming back, seeking Him 10 times more, like the scriptures say, man. You know, because we were once in darkness, but now we come into the light. So now we have to seek the Lord 10 times more, so we are found worthy of His salvation, man, of His recompense, man. He's going to bring upon the world, man. You know, because He's going to bring recompense to the wicked and to the righteous, man. You know, it just depends in what section you fall in, you know. But yeah, man, and I'm gonna bring those Hollywood stars again, man. You know, you don't see Jay-Z. Hey, man, Jay-Z can, with all the money he has, he can redeem his soul, man, because he's gone. You know, he has led his people astray, man. All his followers, all his fans, he's leading them into the slaughter as well, man. You know, that's what all you artists, man, with all your money and shit. Yeah, I hope it was worth selling your soul, you know.
Nah, man. So, hey, yeah, that's a perfect example, man. You know, these Jake out here that they give away their whole being for riches, man. You know, because they're enamored with the riches. They get you know, it's glamorized, and they glamorize wickedness, man. You know, the music is just to make everybody else go off. That's Esau's plan. Esau tells them, Esau, you so-called white people that controls all this whole music industry, you know. They tell these artists what to rap about, man. They tell these artists to rap about carnal shit, about fucking getting pussy or doing drugs, you know, or getting drunk, getting high. All the things that lead to death, because all the things that the scripture says lead to death, that's what these artists talk about. That's what these artists constantly put that vibration out. And you know what? We put our own vibration out, man. You know, they got these so-called rap artists, you know, they're putting out the wicked vibration. You know, they put out that wicked vibration of carnality, man, of doing drugs, of being sexually deviant. You know, saying you know, gathering, seeking only after riches. That's the vibration that we put out, man. But the men of the Lord, we put out a different vibration. We go out to the highways and hedges and prophesy, man. We put out the vibration of the Spirit, man. Because it's a spirit that leads us to do, it calls us and makes us and strengthens us and enables us to go out there and preach this word. And it's wickedness, and it's the wickedness of the so-called white man, the devil, that enables these two-thirds, these so-called entertainers, to go out there and put out their wicked vibration, man. So there's a balance there, man. Hey, the Lord is about balance. And the Lord brings out those wicked what do you call so-called star celebrities to put out that evil vibration, but you know, and the Lord has His men to put out a spiritual vibration, man. But you know what? This word cuts, man. This word cuts. You know, so there ain't no going against this word, man. You know, through the Spirit we do this, man. And so, you know, that's our lesson that we get into today, man. We try to get, you know, to stay in the Spirit, because that's the strongest that you can be in, man. You know, we're stronger when our flesh is weak, man. There's a scripture about that. I forgot how it goes, but when we are weak carnally, we are strong spiritually, man. You know, so that means that, you know, so our strength is in these scriptures, man. Our strength is in the Spirit. It's not in this carnal. It's not in carnal things, man. You know. So then I want to get I'll get this real quick. This one, first Colossians. I'll start at 1 and 10. that ye may walk worthy of the Lord unto all pleasing, being fruitful in every good work. So that's what we're trying to do, man. We're trying to be worthy. We're trying to walk a worthy walk, doing things that are pleasant to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. The brother brought the scriptures saying that the only spiritual things are pleasing to the Most High, man. And the carnal things are not. So how do you walk worthy? How do you walk worthy unto the Lord? By to the best of your ability, staying in the spirit, man. That's how you walk worthy. That's how you make yourself worthy, man. And what does that word worthy mean? It means, you know, of value. That's how you make yourself of value with this truth, man. You know, to walk worthy means to make yourself of value. You know, so we gotta stay spiritual. You know, we want to please the Lord. So how do we please the Lord? By staying spiritual to the best of our ability, man. You know, that movie that again is Colossians 1:10, that you may walk worthy of the Lord unto all pleasing, being fruitful in every good work, and increasing in the knowledge of Yahawah, strengthened with all might. And where's our strength lie, man? In these scriptures, man. Our might is in these scriptures, man. According to his glorious power. And what's the Most High's glorious power, man? This word is his power, man. You know, so that's how we got to stay unto all patience and long suffering with joyfulness, giving thanks unto the Father, which has made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light, who has delivered us from the power of darkness. And what's that power of darkness, man? That's that carnal world that we came out of, man. That world of the flesh, that world of the fleshy desires and the carnal desires, man. Who has delivered us from the power of darkness and has translated us into the kingdom of his dear Son. And that's that spiritual kingdom, man. That's that spirit, that spirit of righteousness that brothers is trying to stay in and trying to attain, man. Most High, when we be those righteous men, most High, when we be those elect men, those men that were sealed from the foundations of the earth, man. You know, most High, when we be those men, man. It is whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins, who is the image of the invisible power, the firstborn of every creature. It's talking about Yahawah, man. For by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are on earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers, all things created by him and for him. And he is before all things, and by him all things consist, man. So Yahawah, man, he's the head, man. You know, he gave us an example how to stay in the spirit. You know, and the prophets give us examples how to stay in the spirit, man. You know, that's what it is.
I got the scripture before it. It's 2 Corinthians 12:9. And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, would I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Yahawah may rest upon me. Therefore, I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distresses, for Yahawah's sake. For when I am weak, then am I strong.
So when we're weak in the flesh, we're weak, and when we're not pursuing the desires of the flesh, we're stronger in the spirit, man. So that's our brothers to try to pursue that, man. That's to the best of your ability. That should be our goal on a daily basis, man. To stay in the spirit, to please the Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, man. Because that's our strength in this truth, man. That's how we're going to maintain our walk, man. But that's something. With that, man, you know, it's a quick lesson. But the hope is edifying for brothers to constantly stay in that spirit, man. You know, you're gonna have all kinds of shit come upon you. But if you stay in the spirit, you know, you're gonna overcome it, man. Because the spirit overcomes all things, man. You know, so we just hope the Most High willing it was edifying, man. With that, we want to say, Rock to Yahawah, Rock Yahawah, Rock to Yahawah, Rock Yahawah, Rock to Yahawah, Rock Yahawah, Shalom.